welcome back to our Creating the Child of Your Dreams workshop series. I want to continue with the topic that we were talking about last week about connecting with your child at the heart level before we move on, because ultimately every interaction you have with your child is based on the foundation of the relationship you have with them. And a relationship is a matter of the heart, not the head. And that's what we so often forget as parents. We're concerned about our children's outward behavior and we completely ignore their heart. So I want to give you an example of how this plays into everyday interactions. And don't feel too bad if this is something you've never considered before, because honestly I don't hear too many parenting experts talking about this. But to me, it is a key ingredient, and it will make all the difference in how your child responds to you. So let's take the classic problem every parent has is engaging their child's cooperation. So a simple example that I have with my son a lot is that he'll be watching TV and it's time for him to get in the shower. And I'll say, "Jonathan, it's time to get a shower," and he'll say, "No," right? So we always look at that kind of response and we call it disobedience, rebellion, defiance, when honestly it's something else. We want our children to respond like robots without any feeling, and when we say give a command, we want it fulfilled right away. But our children are people, and people have hearts, and hearts are where our desires and ideas and passions and dreams and hopes are. We've talked about that. So in a simple situation like this, when your child says no, what he's really saying is, "I don't want to do that right now. There's something else I want to do." And so what we typically do is we speak to the head logic. "Well, you need to get a shower because if you don't get to bed, you're going to be tired in the morning and you have school tomorrow." And we start talking through the whole logic of why he has to take a shower. Well, there's a problem with that. And the problem is that you cannot talk to the heart with the language of the head. The language of the head, or reason, is logic and reason. The language of the heart is feelings. So what we need to do is to acknowledge those feelings, and first of all we got to know what they are. So the way to respond in a situation like this, when you've given your child a simple command, something they have to do every single day that may even be a battle every single day, and you get that no response, is to step back, fight the urge to argue with logic, and think about their heart, their desire. So I would say to my son, "Oh, you don't want to take a shower?" "No." Key operative, want. "What do you want, Jonathan?" And then he will tell me, "I want to finish watching this show." So then I go, "Okay, well, that show is over in 10 minutes. Okay, you can finish watching the show." Maybe that's the answer, maybe not. Let's say he says, I want to watch TV, keep watching, or whatever. I'll say, maybe we don't have any more time to watch TV. And I go, "Oh, okay, I know you really want to watch this show. It's a good show, isn't it?" "Yes." So I'm agreeing with his desire, first and foremost. Then, "Okay, well, it's time to take a shower now. We'll watch the show later." You'll be surprised how simple and easy that right there may just work. You may have nothing else to say. And 9 times out of 10, that's how it works for me with my son. If he says, "No, I don't want to take a shower now," then we have to then go to step number 2. But the point I want to make right now is that acknowledging your child's feelings and desires is going to set you leaps and bounds ahead of where you are, because if you ignore those desires, you're coming out saying, "You have to do this," and he's going, "I'm not going to do that," and we never talk about what he does want to do, then he feels like that his desires and wants are unimportant to you. So once you start just acknowledging those desires, you'll have a lot more negotiating power with your child, because he'll realize you do care about his desires. And desires are not bad. We're all wired for pleasure, for desire. You think about the beginning of mankind in the Garden of Eden. It was an enjoyable place. There was no restrictions except for one, and it was a pleasurable place, it was a comfortable place, it was a beautiful place. And so deep down, that's what we all desire, and our children have desires that they need to learn how to have them met in a healthy way. So that's what we're going to talk about next. I don't want to get into it today. It's kind of it's a parallel topic, but a different topic, and if I get started on that, we'll be here all day. So I want you to start identifying and empathizing with your child's desires, whether or not you can fulfill them, just to acknowledge and empathize. And maybe in this instance, when it was time for a shower, you could say, oh, you know what? I'd really like to keep watching this show too, but right now we have to take a shower. So give that a try, see how it works. We'll be giving you some more tools. Sometimes that gets you where you want to go, and sometimes not. You need another tool after that. So, but until we get down the road to that, I encourage you to try just having a mindfulness of your child's feelings, to identify and empathize with their desires. So until then, happy parenting, and we'll talk again soon.